For this episode of Classic Licks and Riffs, I thought I'd show you through the lead part of one of my favourite guitar instrumental tunes, Apache by The Shadows. Here's a demo of what this lesson covers. I'm playing that over a simplified backing track that I made that's slightly slower than the original version to make it easier to learn. I'll put a copy of a segment of that backing track at the end of this video so that you've got something to practice over. But if you're watching this on the Secret Guitar Teacher site, you'll be able to download an MP3 file of the full version of that backing track from the link beneath the video screen. Now let's take a look at the detail, starting with the intro. So the first lick starts on the G string at the 2nd fret. Then we play on the B string, the 1st fret followed by the 3rd fret. And that 3rd fret note we grab hold of. I usually put 2 fingers on there to give it a nice controlled bend up a semitone. So notice that's 1 played straight, 1 note bent and 1 note returned to straight again. The second phrase starts the same, first 2 notes, and then we slide on the top string up from fret 3 to fret 5. Then we come back to fret 3 and back to the 2nd string, the B string at fret 5. So altogether that's Notice that these licks are played after the first beat of the bar. So you hear the rhythm play the A minor chord, and then you play, then you hear it play the D chord, and you play. These intro lines are played through twice, but then the timing reverses and you have to start the next phrase ahead of the start of the bar. So immediately you've played the last lick of the intro, you have to locate this E note at the 2nd fret on the 4th string immediately afterwards. Something like this. And that leads into this next nice, easy to play section. So having played this note E at fret 2 on the D string as your pickup note, we then jump across to the A at fret 2 on the G string, and then we repeat that. And then we grab this F sharp at fret 4 on the D string, back to E at fret 2 on the same string, open, and back to fret 2. So altogether that's... And that phrase is played through twice. Then for the next line, you need to play the first note of the phrase ahead of the change to the D minor chord. Then it's back to the first line again. If you have any problems following that, then tab is available. Just click on the link beneath the screen if you're watching this on the Secret Guitar Teacher site, or otherwise contact me via email for a free copy of the tab to go with this lesson. The next section involves playing a pair of notes from the F chord with a very fast rhythm, something like this. Finishing there with the notes E, fret 2 on the D string, and A, open A. Now my advice there is not to get too hung up on playing exactly the right number of notes. Rather, just make sure that the rhythm you use to play those two notes fits neatly in with the timing of the rhythm guitar. Then we're back to starting the phrase after the main beat again. So this just follows the F chord shape to begin with, starting at fret 3 on the D string, fret 2 on the G string, fret 1 on the B string, then back to the open B string, onto fret 1 on the B string again, up to fret 3, then a quicker run, top string open, fret 3 on the second string, fret 1 on the second string, fret 2 on the G string. That bit will probably take a bit more practice. This then starts to repeat, but then comes back to the G open and then heads off up the fretboard over the C7th chord like this. This is the part of the tune that causes the most problems, especially for inexperienced players. So here's some detailed advice on this if you need it. So the trick here is to know exactly where it is that you're headed before you zoom off up the fretboard. So you play the beginning of the phrase down here. As you hit that open G, your attention moves up here to fret 9, where I've got my second finger poised over the third string, and we just skid into that. Then add the first finger on the second string at fret 8, back to third string at fret 9, so that's... And then we take that two finger shape all the way up to fret 12 and 11 here, play that as a double stop, but then slide it back a fret, and then return it. That's just to simulate what Hank Marvin did with the whammy bar on his Strat. So we haven't got a whammy bar on this guitar. Of course, if you are using a guitar that's equipped with a whammy bar, then simply use that to get the effect. Lot easier. The double stop sliding technique is not easy for less experienced players. So if you find yourself struggling, I think it's okay to cheat and play these separately like this. So instead of playing it like this, play each of the double stops separately like this. And that overall will sound like this then. You'll be coming out of the start of the riff here. Just move that on. Yep. And instead of that, you'll hear which I think is fine and a fair bit easier. After that, we repeat the first part of the phrase again. Then it's back to the fast bit over the F that we showed you, played exactly the same as we showed you earlier. So that should be enough to help you unlock the mysteries of Apache. There are a few variations on the second run through, but I don't think you'll have too much trouble working those out for yourself if you spend enough time working on the first run through as shown in this lesson. As promised, here's a segment of the backing track to help you practice this. Have fun with it.